Okay, welcome to Pilates. Thank you so much for joining. You need a yoga mat, or if you actually have a Pilates mat, they're sort of a thicker mats, just because we're laying on our back so much, but a yoga mat will do. In terms of modifications, feel free to take any modification that works for your body. And if you, I'm trying to make this mat straight. If you want to take water breaks, feel free to take water breaks. The best place to place your device is probably around where your feet are, so you're not constantly straining your neck to look at me. I have my computer to the side so that you can see my body. We're going to go ahead and start with our breathing. Inhale through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. If you like to play some quiet, gentle music at your place, feel free to do that. I'm not playing music just so that you can hear my voice loudly and clearly. But if you don't like to hear my voice loudly, you can turn down the volume on your computer. Inhale and exhale. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling out through pursed lips. We're trying to recruit our abdominals as we exhale. Focusing on not just our core muscles, which are anything that attach to the spine and pelvis, but also on our postural muscles, so sort of up here around the neck and shoulder area. Let's take one more breath in our seated position, and on the exhale, slowly roll down one vertebra at a time. Slowly, slowly. Feet are hip distance apart, knees bent, continuing to breathe. Inhale through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. You want to keep your head and neck aligned with your spine throughout this class. So you can glance over at the camera on occasions, but then you want to realign your head and neck with your spine. There's probably a small space under your lower back right now. That's your neutral position. Inhale and exhale. On your next exhale, we're going to shift into an imprinted position, drawing the abs down, taking the lower back down into the mat, getting rid of that space underneath the lower back. Inhale, return to neutral, tailbone on the floor. Exhale, imprint. It's impossible to move your lower back without moving your pelvis. They're very much connected. So as you come into neutral, you're going to feel your tailbone come to the floor, small space under your lower back. Exhale, imprint, the tailbone comes off the floor as your pelvis rocks back and your lower back makes contact with the floor. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, imprint. We want to stay imprinted because it gives the spine support. So we're going to be imprinted now as we lift our legs to tabletop. Knees at 90 degrees. Exhale, tap it out. Inhale, return. Only one leg moves at a time. Exhale. I'm not straightening the leg or bending the knee further. I'm just kind of trying to reach a midpoint there. I'm going to use my abs to strongly maintain the imprint. So sometimes you might feel your lower back come off the mat a little bit as your leg moves, but we're trying not to let that happen. Exhale. If there's any tension in your neck and shoulders, try to get rid of that. Focus is on the abs and below, hip flexors, quads. All right, both legs are going to go down. Exhale. Inhale. See how your imprint does before you take your feet all the way to the mat. If you feel your imprint come off the mats, then you want to stop the leg lowering. Exhale, lower. Reinforce the imprint. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale. Last two. And last one. Okay, we're going to warm up our obliques. You can either use your elbows pressing those triceps down, or you can use the entire arm, palms pressing down. Here you're going to squeeze your knees together It's okay if they come apart. Inhale to lower to one side. You're gonna feel when your butt cheeks lift up. Shoulder blades, however, stay on the floor. Exhale back to center. Inhale, take it to the other side. Anchor those shoulder blades. Exhale to center. Keep your eye gaze to the ceiling. So allowing the pelvis to rock side to side, stretching the obliques, and then contracting the obliques to come to center. We're trying to keep the shoulder blades firmly anchored to the floor with the assistance of our hands, of our arms. Good. Now watch that your heels don't drop. So my knees are still bent at 90 degrees as I do this. Good, one more time to each side. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Good. Go ahead and bring your hands back down by the hips. Bring your feet to the floor, hip distance apart. Rolling up into your shoulder bridge. So the weight is on your shoulder blades. Reach those knees away from your shoulders. Inhale at the top, exhale. Inch your way down, starting from the shoulder blades until your tailbone is on the floor. Inhale, exhale. Press to the feet, squeeze the glutes. Reach the knees away. You want equal squeezing of the butt and the abs so that we're neutral spine here. Inhale, exhale, roll down. Articulation of the spine, moving inch by inch. Good, at your own pace. Do one more. Good. And try to keep your butt engaged until your tailbone hits the floor. And now we're going to do ab prep. So reaching the arms forward, nod the chin. Exhale, lift the head, neck, and shoulder blades. Inhale, hold. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, hold. Exhale, lower. Just until the shoulder blades are off the mat. Inhale, exhale. On the inhale, if you want to lift a little higher, you can. And then exhale, take it back down. 3 more times. Inhale. Two more times. Exhaling as we lift. And as we lower, inhale, maybe lift an inch higher. Last one. And going into our hundreds, inhale, prepare, exhale, curl up. Good, you can leave your feet there as you pump your arms, or bring to tabletop, straight legs, or diagonal. Good, I'm gonna show some leg variations, but take any version you want. So remember, you can bend your knees, keep your legs straight, or put your feet on the ground. Reach those arms, pump. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Lift, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Lower, inhale. And exhale. Lift, inhale. And exhale. 40, inhale. And exhale. 50, inhale. And exhale. 60. You don't have to lift and lower. You can do anything you want with your legs. Try to keep reaching the arms and pumping. Inhale. And exhale. Lift, inhale. And exhale. Lower, inhale. And exhale. Did I count right? I don't know. Sometimes I say lift and sometimes I set a number and then I forgot what number I said. Anyways, that was probably 90, 100, or 110. It's within range. So we have our spine exercise. So this is all about posture. Inhale. We're pressing into those forearms, fingertips to elbows. Exposing our chest, lifting it, and then lowering. Inhale, lift, keeping the head and neck aligned with the spine. So just a little Little tucking of the chin there. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. So this is the basic spine position that you can always come back to when I do other variations. You can always keep your arms here. For now, we're keeping the tops of the feet on the mats. Now let's try a few without the arms if you would like. So bringing the arms back. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Actively reach the fingers toward the toes. Open up your chest a little bit more. Again, first spine extension of the day, unless you've been doing this earlier. So we want to just be a little gentle. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Again, we're trying not to look up, so I can keep my head and neck aligned with the spine. Last one here. Take your hands underneath your shoulders, push yourself up. Come into your shell stretch, sitting onto your heels. Now, if you feel like one side of your spine is a little tighter than the other, feel free to kind of walk your hands over to the other side. You can allow your butt to shift a little bit to one side of your heels. So you're sitting on your heels and then you just kind of shift it over. So you should feel a little bit more on this side, the side you're reaching away from, and then of course take it to the other side if you feel like that's something your spine needs. Because believe it or not, because we're so asymmetrical, we might not always be feeling the same tightness or not tightness on either side. We're doing our half rollback. Starting with the arms reaching forward, round the spine halfway down. Keep the toes on the mat. Inhale. You can keep a C curve or you can lengthen. Exhale. I'm going to add some arm variations. So for now, let's set up the movement properly. Exhale. Feel your abdominals work more as you lean back. Coming to close to the top of your pins. Inhale, lift. Exhale. All right, I'm going to lift the front arm. No rotation, just lifting the arm. Exhale the left or the back arm. Inhale. Don't worry about which arm you're starting with. You're going to alternate both. Now we're going to get some range of motion into our shoulders. So you can continue this motion here, stopping just ahead of your ears, or you can add rotation. So you can rotate down, up, and back. Follow my thumbs, reach it up. Good. Now, if I go back like this, and I stay back and I reach my arms up like that gets really hard. So what I'm really doing is I'm starting to sit up as I bring my arms up and forward. So it's a little less challenging to the abs when my arms are overhead. All right, but that's the beauty of Pilates. You can change the challenge felt in your abs, in your body, depending on your positioning. It's all about different leverages. As I swing my arm back, maybe I'm going to stay back a little longer while I reach and circle the arms up. Good. Now, if you can reverse the direction, so we go up, reach back, circle. And this is by no means a perfect circle. Okay? I'm just going to reach up, reach back, and sweep it down. The other arm, try not to pull it across the midline. Keep it in front of the shoulder, reach up and over. It kind of helps anchor you when you're not pulling both arms across. All right, last time here, up and over. Keep your knees bent as we roll all the way down for the roll up. Biceps are by the ears. Here's a roll up variation. So as I start to roll up, I'm going to shoot my heels out, activating my quads to straighten the legs. Inhale, arms reach to the ceiling, nod the chin, lift the head, neck, and shoulders. We'll get stuck a little bit here. Shoot the legs out, roll up. So if you shoot your legs out a little more forcefully, it'll probably help you roll up. But the idea behind this is that you don't shoot your legs out quickly unless you need to. Stretch, hamstring, lower back, good. And start to roll down, keeping my arms forward. As my lower back hits the floor, I'm going to start to drag my heels in. Lots of friction. Or maybe not a lot of friction. I guess it depends on your mats. But you do kind of want to think about your hamstrings as you do it. So if you lifted your leg, you won't really feel it. But if you kind of drag your heels, you'll feel a little bit of hamstrings. Same thing. Inhale, arms, head, shoulders. Exhale, I shoot my legs out. And I really want to think about my heels reaching forward and really squeezing the quads. So even right now, my legs are active. And you can test it. Like right now, like have active legs and then relax your legs and see how it feels. And even right now, as I'm going back, I relax my legs. It kind of changes the exercise. If I'm squeezing my quads, I get a little more support through my core. Okay, dragging my heels in. Here we go. Inhale, arms. Oops, I started to straighten my leg right away. Not yet. Inhale, arms, head, shoulder blades. Exhale, legs and spine. All right, let's try it 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. I'm choosing to flex my feet here. I feel like you can straighten your legs and adjust your pants anytime during roll-ups. I feel like having a flex foot will help more with the roll-up than pointed. But feel free to try a pointed foot. Oh, gosh. Try this new variation I keep forgetting. Inhale, arms, head, shoulders, legs, and spine. Okay, we're gonna do one more, only just because we're gonna stay sitting up. So come up into your roll up, and then stay up. And then adjust your pants. Okay, I know it's not just me that has to adjust my pants. Rolling like a ball. Basic is holding on to those shins, kind of close to the ankle. You've got to create a round spine in order to roll like a ball. Not shrugging the ears. Deepen your curve to start to fall back. Roll until your shoulder blade. Use your crunch muscles, your abdominals, to crunch up and make your way back to a balance. Try this a couple times. Inhale, rock back. Exhale, crunch forward. Inhale, rock back. Exhale, crunch forward. I'm holding onto my legs. My knees are not bending or straightening. The only movement is happening in my spine. Now let go of your shin and try a couple of this. And you can tell if your legs are moving. Like if you're kicking like this, you can tell. If you're pulling your knees in and shooting it out, you can tell. So try your best to do nothing with your legs and only right here, initiate with your spine. Okay, ready for the next variation? Reach and pause. Roll back, inhale, exhale, find a little length. Inhale, arms down, exhale, arms lifted. Add a leg extension, just one. Inhale, exhale. Each time we roll back and come up, it's a crunch. Inhale, fall, exhale, crunch. Extend, decelerate. We do have a little acceleration coming up. Inhale, exhale, come up, now pause. One more time. Doing good? I see it. You're doing good. Roll, rock and roll,
Pause. Good. So now we just primed your abs for single leg stretch or your abs series. So you can go ahead and slowly roll back and single leg stretch. Inhale, switch, exhale. Now if your head and neck get tired, your head probably is not getting tired. If your neck gets tired, you can place it head and shoulders down on the ground. If you feel like your abs aren't really getting much of a workout with your head down, you have the option to change the arm position, which can challenge your abs a little bit more. So abs are challenged when your legs are reaching low to the ground. Abs are challenged when your head, neck, and shoulders are lifted. Abs are also challenged when your arms reach over your shoulders and also over your head. So right here, my arms are hovering just above the floor, and I'm doing single leg stretch. All right, if you haven't tried this before, go ahead and try it. So everyone's head is down, and we're doing the leg motion of single leg stretch. And now we're gonna do obliques or bicycle. You're gonna reach to the outside of the bent knee. Open, oh, sorry, I did it too fast. And switch. Open, switch. Open. So getting a little bit into double leg stretch here. Just a variation. It's like I grab something like a ball and I reach it over here to the outside of the bent knee. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, get both shoulder blades up. One more time on each side. And then let's go into regular bicycle. So it's a little faster. Exhale, inhale, exhale. Hand behind the head. Rotating towards the bent knee. 4. And 3. 2. And 1. Good. We've already done sort of a variation of double leg stretch. So we're going to try a different variation here. When we reach the arms and legs long, I'm going to circle the arms around, and my feet are going to circle too. I'll just show you this angle here. Here, flex the foot, turnouts, points, return to neutral, in. Extend. This is neutral. Flex the foot, reach your arms by your ears, turn it out. So it's like everything's connected by these arms. It's like your fingers and toes are connected to each other. So you're making ankle circles. Return to your tabletop position. Exhale. Flex the foot. Feel that ankle movement. Feel that calf being stretched. Abdominals are constantly returned. Oops, I'm supposed to return my arms all the way here. I didn't do that. Let's try it again. Exhale, reach. Inhale, circle. Return my arms to over where I started and return. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Last 2. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Forgot to mention you can do it with your head, neck, and shoulders up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Doing our scissors. Legs nice and straight. Squeeze those quad muscles, so straighten those legs. Head and shoulders down or head and shoulders up. Inhale, switch, exhale. Inhale, switch, exhale. Here's a hip flexor stretch. Inhale, hamstring stretch. Is your neck tired? You want to put your head down? You want to reach your arms here? For 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Make sure you're staying imprinted though. Sometimes it's
easier to stay imprinted when your head, neck, and shoulders are up. All right, we've had enough abs. Let's flip over. So the challenge for the spine here is to see if you can go from a low lift to a higher lift. So all the way down, here's your rest, but we're gonna come into what I call a low hover. So I'm not lifting to my max, okay? But I'm not flat on the ground, low hover. And then from here, this is my starting point, my low hover. And then I'm going to reach to a higher hover. So my arms are going to either reach to the side, based on how your shoulders feel, or slightly forward, and my legs are going to lift. It's as if my forelimbs are going to pull my chest up higher. All right, that's my max lift, and then I'm going to come to my low hover. Reach, low hover. Inhale, exhale. Now, if you want to come all the way down or relax, by all means, do it. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. When my legs lift, they're nice and straight to the corners of the mat. My arms are to the corners of the room or out to the side. So my thighs are coming right off the ground, really focusing on squeezing the glutes. So I'm getting very close to the floor, but I'm not quite relaxing completely. Okay, last one. And now you can push back, and you can do your shell stretch, and you can do your side-to-side shell stretch if you want. And hold it for like maybe 3 or 4 seconds each. Getting into your plank position. I'm gonna be on my wrist here. You can also do it on your elbows, wrists or elbows underneath the shoulders. So looking for vertical arms here. Now, I know I'm locked to my elbows right now, but you wanna soften it when we start the exercise. Reach the heel back and then the other heel back. So we're looking for a nice straight line coming through our ears, shoulders, hip bones, knees, and ankles. All right, you can think of this as a stretch. Like I'm really pushing back with one heel to stretch the calf, and I'm gently touching the knee together. And switch, push my front heel back, stretch that calf, and then just keep alternating. It's like you're alternating, stretching your legs, but the focus is really about keeping your butts in the same spot, keeping your abs nice and tight, maintaining the plank, okay? So arms are still at work, soft bend in the elbows, abs are at work, and we're just kind of taking the focus, not away from our abs, but just also bringing it into our legs. It's okay if your knees don't hit the floor, because you don't want to do it at the expense of your butt. Last two, last one. Good, and hopefully that felt like a really nice calf stretch. All right, we're gonna do single leg circles. This is about hip range of motion. Keep everything waist and above or hip and above nice and still. The only thing that's moving is the leg and the hip socket joint. Traditionally, arms are down here. As you press the arms into the floor, it stabilizes you, right? So you don't like rock all the way around like this. But if you want a little more challenge, you can either straighten the bottom leg. You can take the arms overhead here, over the shoulders, and you can also take it overhead. When you're here, you don't want to be arched and you don't want your ribcage popped up. This just gives you less stability, right? There's the most amount of stability when you're here. Inhale at the top of the circle. Exhale at the bottom. Even with my arms here, I already feel my abs doing more work to keep my body still. The circle is as big as you like, but remember, it's about making a circle that's challengingly big enough, but not so big that it makes you sway side to side. And then if you want to try this version, you can. My arms are not resting on the ground. I'm maintaining my imprint. Last one in this direction. I'm just showing you various arm positions. You can change it throughout reverse direction, but I would pick one arm position to stick with it. That's my recommended. But I can't stop you from changing your mind in the middle of the sentence. Okay, so we've all reversed direction by now. Move slowly and check. Give yourself little spot checks. Like as your leg's circling around, notice, am I shifting? Has my arm moved? Has my other leg moved? The other leg shouldn't move either. Last one. Inhale at the top. Trying to keep the leg as straight as possible, feeling the hamstring stretch as you pull your leg up to the 12 o'clock. All right, hug that leg in. It should be pretty fatigued. If you really try to keep those quads engaged the whole time, kept the leg straight, reverse direction, roll those ankles, then your leg should be pretty fatigued. Let's try the other side. So whatever you did with the arms, do the same. If it was here, it stays on the floor. If it was here or here. I did everything, so I'm just gonna pick something here. You might notice a difference between one leg versus the other, like more range of motion, more stability. It's easier to keep the leg straight. Your hamstrings are more flexible. There's always differences from side to side. Be aware of them. Inhale at the top, exhale at the bottom. So this other leg that I'm talking about, it shouldn't fall to the side. Do your best to not let it move. I'm crossing over the top of the bent knee. And then swinging that leg out to the side. By swinging, I mean slowly circling with control. All right, one more time in this direction. And we inhale at the top to change direction. Exhale at the bottom. Your abs really never get a break. They're stabilizing this whole time. And your quads really don't get a break either. They're constantly engaged. Your hamstrings change between feeling stretched here and then feeling not stretched. And then here's your hip flexors engaging to lift the leg. Last one. Good, and hug the knee in. Relax the leg, rotate the ankles. I haven't been on a plane in a long time, but whenever I'm on a plane, I try to roll my ankles. And since I'm short, I can straighten my legs without totally kicking the front seat in front of me. So just doing motions like this, bend, straighten, while on a plane. It's like Pilates in an airplane seat. All right, we're gonna circle both legs. And this doesn't have to be a circle. In fact, I would say it's kind of like a pill shape, like a paper clip shape. You can go down, go to the right or one direction, however far you can down without lifting your butt up, right? So you gotta keep the butts down. You can go as low as you like, swing it to the other side. So remember, your hips have a certain range of motion. Let's do 5 in each direction. So find the greatest range of motion you can make your circles without disturbing your imprint, your pelvis, your abdominals. Your abdominals are engaged, but it's staying pretty much neutral position. At no point do I lift my butt, right? So all of this is staying lengthened but contracted. Yeah, so kind of making that oval shape. Inhale at the top, exhale at the bottom. It's more stable to keep your hands here. You could try this version, and maybe this version is definitely going to be challenging. Let's see. Let's switch sides. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Whew, that's definitely challenging. 3 more. Inhale at the top, exhale at the bottom. And you can make a perfect circle, right? You don't go down very low, that's fine. Whatever creates a challenge for you. Last time, inhale. and exhale. Good, we're gonna open up our hips for a little bit of a stretch. I know your legs are tired, but bring them back up. Open out to the side. Let gravity kind of just pull your leg out there, and you'll feel a nice stretch in the inner thighs. Your hips are opening. All right, put our hands back down. And then we're gonna squeeze your inner thighs. So you almost want to imagine like there's this magnetic or spring that's like pushing your legs down. You have to resist and really pull and squeeze your legs to come together. All right, so we gotta use our imagination here. Open up. And then exhale, squeeze, 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 squeeze. There's just this like giant sponge, and we've got to squeeze all the water out of it by using our inner thigh muscles. Exhale, squeeze. Good. Last time. All right, good. You can bend your knees, which is a nice relief for your quads, and bring them down to the floor for your glutes. So we're doing our shoulder bridge without articulation. Feet should be hip distance apart. The entire spine lifts up, tailbone drops straight down. Exhale, repeat. So, you know, we always go to one leg. You have the option to continue doing both legs the entire time. That's fine. So I'm going to straighten my front leg out. It doesn't matter which leg. As I start to push into the remaining leg, also we're not starting yet, but when we do start, this leg is never going to hit the ground. It's going to just be like hovering. But basically, as I push through my other leg, I'm going to swing this whole leg up. All right, it's okay to knee bend a little bit. We're going to try our best to keep it straight. I know, more quad work. Here we go. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, lift. Inhale. My butt hits the ground, but my leg doesn't. Exhale. Inhale. Press through this leg. Exhale. Get both hips up to the same height. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Abs have to stay tight because especially this bottom leg isn't going all the way to the ground. So that involves some abs and hip flexors. Got 3 more. So look at your hips. Is the right and left hip going up to the same height? Okay, so last one. Did I say 3 more and I did 4 more? The odds of that happening is very, very high. Okay, straighten the other leg. Here we go. Inhale, prepare. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Sometimes when we use too much momentum and we just kind of like shove our hips up there, squeezing the crap out of our butts without the abdominals engaging to balance us out, then we can push too high. So we're not pushing to neutral, but we're pushing to hyperextension. So whenever you do lift, oops, I keep touching my foot to the ground. Whenever you do lift, abs are on fire too. It's not just your butt. As you lift the butt, glutes and abs squeeze. Oops, I lost count. Let's do 2 more. Last one. I think my left leg is stronger, my right leg is more flexible. So I don't get tired on my left leg as much. All right, good. Flip over again. So that's working on our butt, which is very important for pelvic stabilization. All right, I'm gonna challenge you to a little more spine endurance. So earlier we did this. So I'm gonna add a component. We're gonna reach, open, return, down. So think of narrow X, slender X, wider X, narrow X, down. I don't know how to demonstrate it like this. Go like this. Okay. All right, I think you guys got it. So
We reach into my narrow X. I'm at full lift. I open up my legs more, my arms more. Narrow X, return. Inhale, exhale, inhale, return. Now, if you're like, oh man, I can barely get my legs out, don't go too wide to start. Okay? Inhale, so pretty narrow. Exhale, inhale, return. So maybe when you first inhale, it's within the confines of your yoga mat. Then you go wider than your yoga mats, back to your yoga mats, width, and then down. So a lot of endurance for the spine muscles because you're keeping your limbs up for a little longer. So if that feels like a lot, feel free to go up and down, which is a version we did earlier. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Let's do one more here. Good. And then just come and lay on your side. I'm laying on my arm, my head, arm, spine, and my tailbone is all up against the edge of my mat, so I know it's pretty straight. Hinge my legs forward to the front corners. Yeah, my foot is flexed, both of them. I'm gonna lift to hip height. And again, part of the reason we only lift to hip height is because there's going to be a hip hiking motion if we lift out of range of our hip range of motion. Now you're going to feel this the most if you keep your leg very, very contracted. So squeeze in the quads to keep the leg straight, actively flexing the foot and really reaching through the heel. You don't really need a kickstand hand because our legs are kind of kickstand, hinge forward, but there's a reason for that. Good. We're going to make little circles. And this is all going to feel a little different because you're usually in a fully straight line and your toes are pointed. So now we're just hinged a little bit. It's going to feel a little different. Keep your abs engaged, stabilizing. Anytime I do sideline leg lifts, which is what this is, if you prefer the hinged at the joint, at the hip joint motion, reverse direction, you can always do it this way. These are just variations. I'm still keeping my foot flexed, but that's because my calves are really tight. But also when I do my hip hinge variation of sideline leg lift series, I prefer having my feet flexed. Okay, from here, the leg stays at hip height. It goes forward and back. You can bring your leg as far back as is straight with your body, but not behind your body. I mean, if you go behind your body, most likely you're going to fall back, which is why I don't recommend it. Now you'll notice that as your leg goes forward, your abdominals really start to kick in because there's no counterbalance, right? Because normally you just want to fall down. So we're going to add some of that counterbalance with the arm. So as the leg goes forward, reach your arm back. As your leg goes back, reach your arm forward. And now you'll notice you can take your leg really far back without falling back, right? You just created this counterbalance. So there's a couple of things. You can circle it by your ears like this. And that really depends on how your shoulders feel. Like if it feels like really tight or there's some sort of impingement, then it may feel better to go up and over. But regardless of the path of your arms, the leg is staying at hip height, going forward and back, and your arm is counterbalancing it, meaning as the leg goes back, the arm goes forward. As the leg goes forward, the arm goes back. But how does it do it? I guess you could go this way too, like you're walking. But this feels like the least amount of work for the shoulders. So here. So you don't reach your arms over your head a lot. This. Is your leg getting tired? It's kind of getting tired. All right, let's switch. That's it anyways. That's what I was going to do. So adding in that arm component allows for greater range of motion while still feeling relatively stable with the abs. And that's just how your human body works. Like your abs do have to work more when you don't have that counterbalance. The more you understand your human body, the harder you can make your workouts or the easier. Meaning if you understand it, you also know how to cheat to make exercises easier. Right? What's the first exercise? Lift. Okay. So I'm feeling back here and I can feel that my tailbone's right along the edge of the mat, and I can see that my arm is along the edge. So I place my head down and I know my spine is also along that edge. So that's a good way to check. Legs straight, active, flexed feet. A lot of imagination involved in Pilates. You gotta imagine there's a very heavy brick or cinder block or object on the lower half of our leg. So we have to engage the whole leg to work, to lift. Okay, now we're ready for little circles. So find that hip height. I'm drawing little smudges with my heel. You should feel your abs. If you don't, you can take your hands away. What's it do with my hands? And reverse. Very small, very slow. Alternate the breath. Inhale, circle. Exhale. Okay. And then we're going to do our kick or controlled swing. First without the arms though. So feel that hamstring stretch and most likely engage your abs. You won't be able to get your legs too far behind you without you feeling like you're going to fall back on your butt. So test the waters, but slowly and gently, right? Like I get to a certain point and I feel like if I moved another centimeter, I would just fall back. All right, we do a lot of these, and it's partly to work the outer thigh muscles, but also to create, sort of, teach you a little thing about counterbalance here with your body. So if you're ready to add the arms, let's bring the leg back and the arm forward. Again, going right over the top toward the ceiling is more of a sort of a side reaching for your shoulder. And then when you go towards the ears or over towards the head, it's a little more challenging because it's sort of an overhead motion. Okay, move slowly. See how far you can take your leg back without falling back as you actively reach the arm forward. And then vice versa. And now I'm going to change my arm. So it goes by the ears, sweep back. It's also a nice chest stretch. Stretching the chest here. I also hear some clicks. There's a lot to think about, but the one thing you want to think about too, besides the leg being straight, is that it's not coming down toward the floor. It's staying as parallel as you can toward that hip. All right, we're reaching fatigue here, so let's do one more. I'm sorry, I really should be better about counting. I just base it on feel. Okay. Whew. All right. Let's do a quick teaser variation, then we'll be done in a minute. Starting on your back with your legs at tabletop. We're going to do a teaser. Inhale. Nod the chin, head, neck, and shoulders come up. Kick the legs out and balance on your tailbone. So extend, exhale, roll up, pull the knees back in. This is kind of like rolling like a ball, yeah? Except we're not going to roll back and come back up. We're going to extend the legs, counterbalance, the torso going down slowly, and we're back to the ground. Inhale, arms, head, shoulders. Exhale, legs and spine. Legs straight if you want. Keep them straight or bend. If your legs are straight, they're just gonna stay straight as you roll back down. If they're bent, you're gonna straighten them first. You've got to straighten your legs in order to counterbalance your spine going down. Inhale, arms, head, shoulders, exhale. You can kick the legs out, kick as fast or as slowly as you like. What you need to roll up. But don't give your legs too much, don't give your abs too much help by kicking your legs out too fast, because then your abs won't feel anything. We're gonna do 3 more with variation. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down, and then we open. That's it, that's the only variation. Just want to play with the arms. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, roll down. Last one. Inhale, arms, head, shoulders, exhale, legs and spine. Inhale, arms up, exhale, lower them. Inhale to hold, exhale, roll down. All right, and we are finished for today. Do a quick side bend stretch here. And if you feel like this isn't quite getting into the spine that you wanted, you can actually bring it more forward, like this. And that's the beauty of stretches. Yes, there are wrong ways to stretch. Like you could actually put too much pressure on a limb. But in this case here, what we're doing is we're just kind of changing a slight angle of the body to get kind of different muscles back here. All right, reach up and over. First the lateral bend. And then slightly kind of coming forward towards that knee. And then you just feel a little bit more on the lats. I'm still keeping both butt cheeks down. Good, and just coming forward like this. Oh, did it look like I was smelling my feet? I was actually stretching. But anyways, you can do that kind of stretch too, when your knees are bent. Your legs don't always have to be straight in order to feel like it's a stretch. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining me.